Okay, so can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I think we can live now.
Thank you so much for joining us again. Everyone knows that slide documents are a pain. Turning quarterly sale data into presentations or a strategy document can take hours doing manually in PowerPoint or Canva. And everyone knows that AI can generate slide decks, but there's a lot of tools out there. So we're gonna go ahead and show you the workflow that we use with the most four common tools that me and my team do with it, which are Gamma, Kimi AI, Manus AI, and NotebookLM, which I think they are currently the best slide deck makers. Let me show you an example real quick of what I built, and then we'll get into what you're gonna learn and the exact steps of the process. Okay, so this is the one example presentation slide from Kimi AI. And overall, you can see that they have a pretty beautiful presentation slide of the key from Kimi AI. And in today's workshop, I will use the data from Apple's financial report. So we will turn these data into the presentation slides with the four AI tools that we're gonna make later on. Yeah, so just head back to the result from the Kimi AI, and I just want to say that it is one shot, in fact. So this was created with just a single prompt. No editing has been done whatsoever to this presentation. And you can see that they're using some visualizations here, the circles, some emojis, or emoticons, etc. And before we go into building the slide presentations with AI tools, I want you to keep in mind this mindset. This is the biggest misunderstanding about AI slide tools. They are fantastic at creating beautiful slides for what I call the low stakes presentations, but they completely fail at the most critical part of any business presentation, which they cannot cover the insights that actually matter. So you just think about this way. There's a fundamental gap between the insight generation and the insight presentation, and these tools can tell you why your client should enter your market or what analytic numbers say about your company. But they can present that insight compellingly once you have it. And actually, many people they just skip uh, the research content, and this is why many AI generated slide decks look beautiful on the outside, but it actually feel empty on the inside. And they usually contain the generic frameworks or the vague bullet points, or they even clear out the most important key points from the report while generating slides. So therefore, instead of ask one AI tool to do everything, we will split the work into the three stages, and each stage has a different goal. For the first stage, which is the research phase, we will discover the insight. We will find the insights from data reports and research materials, and then we will come to the structural stage where we will build the story and narrative flow. And then after we have all the insight collected, all the research and data are all finished, we will come to the third stage, which is the design phase. We would turn the narrative into the slides. And now I'm gonna show you the first and the second stage of the workflow. So in this case, I'm gonna use Claude for generating the outline. And as I said previously, we already have the data from Apple's financial statement report. So I'm gonna add into Claude, and then I will type this prompt. I need you to turn these documents into a slide deck outline. And before you start, ask me 5 multiple choice questions about the purpose, audience, tone, and the structure so you can get it right. And we just click generate. Okay, so we have the questions back from Claude. and we just answer these questions. So who is the primary audience for this deck? I'm gonna use external investors. What's the main purpose? Pitch or raise investment. What tone should the text strike? I'm gonna choose narrative driven and in about 8 to 12 slides. Which financial areas should receive the most emphasis? Um, I'm gonna choose this one, profitable margins. Okay, so Claude will generate the outline from Apple's investor deck outline for you. And here it is. And the job is just copy this outline and paste into the AI tools. Okay, so you just copy it here. And for the first AI tool, I'm gonna use Kimi AI. Okay, so Claude has generated the Apple financial report outline for you here. So your job is just copy this one, and then we will paste into the AI slide tools generation. So first, I'm gonna have the overview from the Kimi K2.5 model. So now you might be thinking, what is Kimi K2.5? Well, it is a large language model that follows a mixture of expert design, and basically it has a bunch of experts, and based on your input or your query, it decides which expert to put to the task to complete your project. So Kimi K2.5 has a total of 1 trillion parameters, but in fact uses only 32 billion of that 1 trillion. That's most relevant to your project as its active parameters. So this can ensure that the most accuracy and the more relevant responses. Okay, so let's get into it. Once you log into Kimi K2.5, you will get free credits to basically play with. And we just have a look at their plans over here. So they have the moderator for $15 and the other pricing options for you. And actually in this case, we're gonna use the free plan version. To generate slides, click the slides option here. And Kimi K2.5, they have the two modes for you to choose. The adaptive mode, it is more creative and more deep research, and it is also structured delivery. But actually, this mode can take up to 30 to 60 minutes, depending on your pages of the slides. And for the other mode, it is for the visual mode. It only takes around 5 to 10 minutes to generate the presentation slide, and it has the cool feature is it is powered by Nano Banana Pro. But actually, this mode it is the upgrade plan, so you need to upgrade your plan to use this one. So in this case, I'm gonna use the adaptive mode, and I'm gonna paste the outline that we just copied from Claude. All right, and we just hit generate. Okay, so this is also the limitation from the Kimi K2 Wi-Fi actually. It takes quite a longer time, and it is also like having this kind of problem as during the peak hours like this. For the free plan version, you have to wait because there are many people also chatting with Kimi right now. And the only choice to keep chatting with Kimi is to subscribe and upgrade your plan. So in this case, I already have the outline that I just generated earlier. Okay, so as you can see, here is the outline that I just keep Kimi AI, and they have the workflow like this with the visual direction and the thinking workflow to have the end results of having the presentation slide. Okay, so this is what the project would look like when you're done. And as you can see in my screen, you can see that it's a beautiful looking presentation about the financial report for investors. And again, there might be some tweaks over here that you might have to make, but the visualizations are there. And we might have some overlapping text, which you could light up yourself if you want to do any more tweaks. And one more limitation with Kimi AI is that in this case, you cannot import your own slide, and like you cannot import your own slide style, and you cannot include the inspiration to complete your slides either. So if you are trying to create slides quickly, they are beautiful and they are effective as well. And it just requires the minimal editing. And one more thing is here. You can see at the right top corner, you can click the download button, and they have the two types of output formats for you. This is for the PowerPoint format, and this is for the image format. And you can also have a choice for the font embedding or the slide transition, depending on your preferences. Okay, so this is the overview of the Kimi AI. And as I said earlier, they have a lot of templates for you under here. And the slides that I use is I using this template, constructivism. They are pretty cool. All right, so now we will come to the second AI tools, which is Manus AI. So this is the platform of Manus. Manus is what they call a super agent that can complete a huge range of tasks for you, including research, putting websites, apps, creating slides, images, videos, audio, web pages, and it can comes with a bunch of playbooks here too that you can follow. So I'm going to show you how we can create a slide deck that is self-updating so you could revisit that over time. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to paste the outline and then click slides here. Just hit generate. And as you can see here, the Manus AI, they have the workflow of thinking before they generate the final end results of the presentation slides. Is going to lay out exactly what it's going to do. And actually, you can interrupt it anytime by sending another message into the chat. And once it goes to where you're going to see this page, it will split into two. So on the left-hand side, you are going to see the actions that is taking, creating files, searching, browsing, etc. And on the right hand, you're going to see the Manus computer, which is the browser and the live timeline. And on the right hand, you're going to see the Manus computer, which is the browser and the live timeline, which you can play back the session to look at. And one interesting thing about Manus AI is that you don't have to keep it open. You can close it and you can turn off your PC, or you can even go for a walk. Um, and later on, when you just open it, it's still there because Manus AI is the entirely virtual computer running in the cloud that is just doing work while you do the other things. So you don't have to worry that you keep the screen open. And one more cool feature that I want to share with you is that for the Manus AI, you can apply your own palette to your template. To do that, we can go into this website and then we will click Explore Palettes. And the job is just choose your template for your preferences. So in this case, I'm gonna use this one. Click Export, click PDF file, and then export it. Okay, so we'll come back to Manus AI. So as you can see here, all of the slides right now are in the white and black and white color. So I want to add colors in it. We just import the file that we just downloaded earlier, and then type apply this palette to the above like that. And then we will hit generate so that we will have the final result like this one. So it has color in it right here. And you can even edit inside the slides. But for the chart, you cannot edit it because it's just the image. So this is the limitation from the Manus AI and as well for the Kimi K2.5 too. And one more thing that I want to share you with this tool is that since it can browse and update real-time data, let's imagine that we come back to this few weeks earlier in the future and we must to have this presentation. But all of the data in this slide presentation is outdated already. But for the Manus AI, you can simply just type, can you update this slide deck using the most up-to-date data available now? And then we just hit generated. And Manus AI can give you, the most updated, latest news, all of the data for your presentation slides. And it can browse maybe the latest reports from the consultancy or from the new product offerings, from the new startup as well, etc. Okay, so and I want to share with you one more cool feature from the Manus AI is that you can go back to the main section here, and then you can schedule your tasks. If you want the AI to remind you to have this presentation at this time, at this moment, so you just click here, create new schedule, and you can type the title, the prompt, or like the timeline that you want it to remind you, daily, weekly, monthly. It even has the expiration date here as well. Okay, so Manus is actually powerful, especially if you got a small, medium, or even large scale business, then you are gonna love it. And that's my overview from the Manus AI and the Kimi K2.5 AI. I hope that these tools will help you for the presentation slides. And I think it's your turn, Dyson, to review the other tools.
Okay, so now we move to another more two tools that help you to create a beautiful presentation. Okay, so the next one is NotebookLM, a Google's AI research tool. Okay, so with this tool, in order to use this tool to create your presentation, first you have to access to its website. It's notebooklm.google.com. Then you click at the create new button here or in the top right. Okay, see, so here's the interface when you first enter this link. So here, this section is where you import your input. So you can input from text or you input from file by drop it here. So with me now, I will use the outline that Mia created before. Okay, so here's the outline. Then after check and everything is done, there's nothing to change. You just have to click at this button. Okay, it said that NotebookLM is researching website for you. Okay, so in this tool, NotebookLM also help you to research from the other source on the internet, and then it will ask you if you want to import this other source or not. So as you can see here, there are more 7 sources of information. If you want your presentation to be more detailed, you can choose import. So I will let it import here. So as you can see, NotebookLM is adding this source into your presentation. Okay, so you will have total 10 sources. Then when it's done, you look at the right section here and choose the slide deck. And after one click, you just have to wait 1 to 5 minutes. Okay, so normally we would wait for the AI tool to generate the slide live, but that can take a little bit of longer time. So due to the limited time, to make this section smoother, I've already prepared the output beforehand using the same workflow we just went through. So let's take a look at the result that I have generate before. So yesterday I used the exactly same workflow and I have this output. So let's check it. Okay, so here's the output. Okay, there are 11 slides and the data. All of the data included in the text input. NotebookLM will show it here in your presentation. And if you want to download and use it to your presentation, you just have to click at this button and download it. You can download to PowerPoint file or PDF document. So I will choose the PowerPoint file. Okay. Okay, but there's one limitation with this kind of output. As you can see, this is just pictures and you cannot directly edit the element in the picture. If you want to edit, you have to click at the revise button here and then you enter your prompt and what you want to change and then NotebookLM will have to generate the picture again from the beginning. So it's a little bit unfriendly with users. Okay, so that's all about how to create a presentation with NotebookLM. So the final tool that I want to introduce to you is Gamma AI. I believe that this tool is a little familiar with you guys because it's really popular because of its speed. Okay, so in order to use Gamma AI, first you have to access to the Gamma website, which is gamma.app. Okay, so here's the interface. And to build a new presentation, you click at the Create New button here. Okay, so it will let you choose one from 4 options. Generate from a one-line prompt in a few seconds, paste in text, create from template, or create from an imported file or URL. Okay, so I normally usually use the paste in text option. Okay, here's the interface of the paste in text option, and As you can see, this section is where you can type your input, your text input. So I will also choose the outline the same as three tools before used here. So here's the outline and okay. And then it asks you what do you want to do with this content. It gives you three options: generate from note on outline, summarize long text or document, or preserve this exact text. I usually use the first two options, which is generate from note on outline or summarize long text or document. But with this situation, I definitely would choose the generate from note on outline. Okay, then you click at the continue to prompt editor button here. Then it will bump you to another interface, which is this. Okay, so next, Gamma will let you to choose the text content like generate, condense, or preserve. The amount of text like minimal, concise, detailed, or extensive. So I will choose the concise one. Next, Gamma will let you to choose the audience, who you write for. It automatically choose the audience for us. It is investors and financial analysis familiar with corporate earnings and technology sectors metrics, American English. And you can also set up your tone like professional, confident, concise. Your output language, you can choose among a lot of languages. For me, I would choose English. Okay, next visual. You can also pick your favorite theme. So this presentation is about Apple technology, so I would choose some technology vibe. Okay, so I think Aurora theme is perfect. Next, you can select the image source. You can let it choose automatically or you choose from this list. It includes stock photos, web images, AI images, or illustration or any other option here. So I will let it choose automatically. About the format, you can choose again from presentation, web page, document, or social. You can choose the size, like traditional or tall. When everything is correct and you don't have to change anything, you just need to click at the generate button here. So the free version will let you create the maximum of 10 card, 10 slide. If you want to generate up to 20 card, you have to upgrade your plan to the plus plan. Okay, you click at the generate button here. Okay, so then you can watch Gamma AI to generate slide lively directly. Okay, so it maybe it takes from around 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, then it's done. Okay, then let's take a quick review. So here's the title, Apple Financial Results. You can change anything in this slide directly. For instance, this picture you don't want to be like this. You can double click at this picture and then custom it here. You can custom by prompt or you can choose another source of picture like web image search or stock photo GIF. I kind of like this picture, so I will keep it here. You can also add some information by click and then type in or delete some character. Or you can customize the text, make it to be bold, italic. It depends on your purpose. Okay. Okay, when everything is perfect, and you want to present this slide, there's two options for you. The first one is you can present directly in this website by just click at this present button. Okay. And it's at this interface, there's one thing that I kind of like. It is the spotlight button here. This This spotlight function will let you to highlight the part that you want it to be, and the other part will be hidden, like here, here. Kind of fun. Okay. The second, you can like download it by click at this button and choose to export. You can choose the type, export to PDF, to PowerPoint, to Google Slide, or like images, PNGs. The next thing you can do with this presentation is to share with everyone. You can choose to share who to share with, like anyone with the link, your workspace member, or and then you can choose what they can do when they access your link. So I change the permission to edit. Okay, so that's all about how to create a presentation with Gamma AI. All right, so now that we've gone through the output from each tool, so let's take a step back and compare four of it. What I want to do here is not just say which tool is the best, because honestly, the answer depends a lot on what you are trying to do. Different tools are optimized for different part of the workflow. So let's quickly walk through the strengths and weaknesses of each one. First, let's start with the Kimi K2.5. One of the biggest strengths of Kimi is that it's built on a very strong open source model foundation that give it a solid reasoning capabilities, and it performs really well when you need deeper thinking or more complex workflows. Another interesting Another interesting aspect is its agentic AI capabilities. It can coordinate multiple reasoning steps, which make it quite powerful if you're building more advanced automation pipelines. And like from a cost perspective, it's actually a very attractive for a large workflow because the API cost is relatively low compared to many alternatives. But on the flip side, when it comes specifically to the presentation features, things are a little bit less clear, like slide template, export format, and and presentation presentation specific tooling are not like very well documented yet. So overall, Kimi is very powerful technically, but it's not yet a fully specialized presentation tool. Okay, next let's talk about Manus. So Manus approached this problem a bit differently. It focuses more on a research-first workflow rather than just generating slides quickly. This means that it's quite strong when you want the AI to analyze materials, structure ideas, and build knowledge-driven presentation, not just format slide. Another advantage is that it supports corporate template and brand consistency, which can be very useful for teams or organizations that need presentation to follow to follow a specific visual identity. However, the main limitation here is a credit-based usage model. More complex tasks consume more credit, which can make it harder to predict costs when you are scaling workflow. There have also been some reports in early versions about reliability issues during high traffic, and some of the accuracy claims come mostly from vendors' marketing rather than independent benchmark. So Manus is strong for structured research workflow, but it's not always the most predictable in terms of cost. The third tool we talk about is NotebookLM. So it is actually extremely strong when it comes to understanding source materials. It does a very good job analyzing documents, extracting key idea, and generating accurate slide outlines that stay close to original content. And because of that, it's especially useful for research heavy presentation like report analysis or knowledge dense topic. However, the trade-off is that NotebookLM does not generate visual slide. What it produces is mostly text-based outline rather than ready-to-present slide. So you still need another tool if you want the final visual presentation. Okay, another limitation is that the presentation output often cannot be edited directly. Like NotebookLM only lets you to export pictures like images. So in overall, NotebookLM is amazing for thinking and structuring, but it's not necessary for designing slides. And finally, let's talk about Gamma. Gamma is probably the tool that is most focused on the final presentation experience. It generates fully designed slides with strong visual layout and a clear storytelling flow. In many cases, the slides are already very close to the presentation ready. So you don't need to change anything or you don't need to do some editing. That's a huge advantage if your goal is speed. However, there are some trade-off. Because Gamma focus heavily on presentation and storytelling, it can sometimes oversimplify the source materials and slightly reinterpret them. And occasionally, the output can feel a little bit generic or AI templated, especially if you don't customize the content afterward. Alright, so before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one key takeaway from today. So there is no single best AI slide tool for every situation. The most useful question to ask is actually which tool is best for which stage of the workflow or which suit your best purpose. Okay, so before we wrap up, I just want to quickly address something regarding the recording of the webinar. Unfortunately, due to a technical issues, the original real-time recording of the section couldn't be properly exported, so we weren't able to share the exact recording from the live webinar. So to make sure everyone still gets the full value from this session, we recorded this version again and following the same tutorials, examples, and workflows that we demonstrated during the live webinar. So while this isn't the original live recording, the content and steps are exactly the same as what we shared with the audience during the section. So we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, and we really appreciate your understanding. We will also make sure to improve our recording process for future webinars so this doesn't happen again. Thanks again for your support, and we hope you still find this tutorial helpful. And I'll see you in the next webinar.